Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam review class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And so far, we have discussed how when Krishna, after taking birth uh, from Devaki, he instructed Vasudeva that you please take me to Gokul. Following the instructions of Krishna, Vasudeva, he crossed river Yamuna, took him and exchanged the babies and brought the daughter which was who was born of Mother Yashoda. Kamsa, when he came to know, he ran and came to the prison and he was about to, dash that child on the stone. But the daughter, that small girl, slipped from the hands of Kamsa and went in the air, in the sky, and assumed the form of Durga and told that prophecy, "O foolish Kamsa, what is the use of killing me? Your killer is already born somewhere else." Hearing this, Kamsa becomes so very fearful because Durga, she was the goddess, she was the worshipable deity of Kamsa. Immediately, he released Devaki and Vasudeva, fell at their feet, asked for forgiveness. And Devaki and Vasudeva, they also forgave him. And then we saw that on the other side in Gokula, Nanda Maharaj is celebrated Nandotsav festival, the birth of Lord Krishna in very, very wonderful, jubilant way. And then after that, Nanda Maharaj, he went to pay tax to Kamsa. And there in Mathura, he met Vasudeva also. Vasudeva asked for the well-being of the children and other people. And then he told that you please go back because there may be some disturbances which may come. So immediately uh, Nand Maharaj he departed. So that's what we discussed. So now what happened in Braja when Nand Maharaj was out of Vrindavan, that is described in the uh, sixth chapter, that is entitled the killing of demon Putana, the very very famous pastime and very very wonderful pastime which describes the merciful, most merciful and magnanimous nature of Krishna. So Shukdev Goswami he continues, Nandah pathi vacha shaure mamrisheti vichintayan harim jagam sharanam utpatagam shankitah. So when Nand Maharaj he heard from Vasudev about the danger which may come, he considered, he started thinking about what Vasudev said, and he understood that Vasudev cannot speak false. and whatever he says cannot be useless. Mam risheti nam risheti vichintayan. So he started contemplating that it cannot be false. Nam risha iti, it cannot be false. Therefore, a devotee, what he should do when he is in some danger or he expects some calamity in his life, very wonderfully shown by Nanda Maharaj, who is such a pure devotee. Harim jagam sharanam utpatagam shankitah. Harim jagam sharanam. He took shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Hari, the supreme controller. Utpat agam shankitah. So when he understood that there is some danger, which may come, he took shelter of Lord Hari immediately. So that is how Srila Prabhupada also writes, whenever there is a danger, a devotee, he thinks and he prays for the protection and shelter of the Supreme Lord. That is one of the quality of a devotee. Rakshaishyati iti vishwaso. A devotee, whenever he is in danger, he should take shelter of the Lord, whatever the danger may be, praying for the protection, at the same time, always having faith in whatever happens. Many times, our definition of protection is if we think that this is the way Lord should protect me, and if that happens, then we understand, okay, then we thank Krishna. Oh, Krishna, thank you for saving me. You are so very merciful. But many times, you know, Krishna has a different way of reciprocating with our prayers. And therefore, that is a process of evolution. That is a level of advanced devotee. Even if problem comes, even if things do not go the way we want, we keep continuing our faith in Krishna. Harim jagam sharanam utpat agam shankitah. So it is not that when only good things will happen, I will keep faith in Krishna. So when Nanda Maharaj, as he was returning, meanwhile, what was happening in Gokul? There was a witch, there was a demoness called Putana. She was associate of Kamsa. Kamsena prahita ghora Putana balaghatini shishumschachare nignanti puragrama vrajadishu. Kamsena prahita ghora. So Putana, she was already engaged by Kamsa to kill Balaghatini. She was expert in killing children. Prahita means she was very ferocious. That's what Jiva Goswami says. She was very ferocious in the way she would kill children. And it was not the first time she was killing, she had come to kill Krishna by putting poison on her breast. That was a routine way of killing children. Prahita means she would kill the children completely, not giving any chance that they will survive. Shishumshachara nignanti pura grama brajadishu. And this Putana, she was wandering in the towns, cities, villages, doing her nefarious duty. So now this is very interesting. Now what is happening? As uh, Shukdev Goswami is describing Putana entering Gokul. Just see the response of Parikshit Maharaj. Whenever we hear Harikatha, we think, oh, we have heard this and I know what is going to happen. And of course, Parikshit Maharaj must have heard this many, many times because he is born in the family of Krishna. And his fathers and great and grandfathers, they were all pure devotees. So he must have heard about Krishna's all activities. But now just see, when Shukdev Goswami starts describing what is happening in Gokul, Parikshit Maharaj becomes disturbed. He becomes fearful. He becomes concerned about Krishna's welfare. This is the actual mood of a pure devotee. He is not just listening Krishna Katha as an outsider. He is listening, he is hearing. Parikshit Maharaj is there. He has become absorbed so much in Krishna Katha that he is thinking that, oh, Krishna is, I am there, and now Krishna is having some, going to have some disturbance. We hear about the story of Kulakshekar Maharaj. Kulakshekar Maharaj was one of the Alvars, and he was such a great devotee that whenever somebody would hear, somebody would speak Krishna Katha or Ram Katha, he would enter that pastime. And it so happened that once, the reciter, the person was speaking, he started describing the pastime where Mother Sita is getting kidnapped. And Kulakshekar Maharaj, he started shouting, oh, we should go and we should help Lord Ram, he's alone. And somehow he was pacified. It's a huge story. So therefore we have to understand that these devotees, they are actually living in that pastime. So Shukdev Goswami could sense, could understand, seeing the facial expressions of Parikshit Maharaj. Just to pacify him, Shukdev Goswami says, Nayatra Shravanadini Raksho Ghnani Swakarmasu Kurvanti Satvatam Bhartur Yatu Dhanyaschatrahi. O Parikshit Maharaj, wherever there is Krishna Katha going on, wherever there is the hearing and chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu going on, Na Raksho Gnani, there cannot be any danger from bad elements. Yatu Dhanyascha Tatrahi, so there is no need of even thinking that, oh, Krishna is in danger. So Chakravarti Thakur writes that, he writes four things. He says, in places where scriptural regulations like sacrifices are performed, even without a devotional attitude, that place also becomes, potent enough to destroy the sinful effects. What to speak of if such acts are performed with devotion? What effect it will have? How can there be an influence of Rakshasas in those places? And what to speak of the place where Lord is personally present? So Krishna is personally present in Vrindavan, in Gokul. So Shukdev Goswami is pacifying, oh Parikshit Maharaj, please don't ever get disturbed. Just by taking the names of Krishna, all the distractions, all the impediments, everything goes away. Then what to speak of if Krishna is personally present? How can there be any calamity? So you don't worry about that. Nothing will happen to Krishna. And then he starts. He starts the description. What happened there? Sakhe chari ekadotpatya putana nanda gokulam yoshayitvam maya yatmanam pravishat kamacharini. So this Putana, she was expert mystic yogi also. Sakhechari, she was expert in flying. She would fly and go to other places. Prabhupada, he would speak in some places. He would say that there are three ways of traveling. By taking broomstick, some yogis or some mystics, they have the power. They can take a broomstick and they can climb on it and they can go anywhere. And some people, they can take help of the pigeons also to go. And some people, they can take help of the machines. So one reporter, he said, Swamiji, so do you think, and then Prabhupada said, that, and this flying with machines is the lowest of the category. So this reporter said, Swamiji, so that, why are you not flying like those mystics? If you are better than us, you should fly like those mystics. Prabhupada said, I just wanted to be with one of you. That's why I'm, taking this flight. So this Putana, she was Khechari. She was expert in traveling in the outer space. So once upon a time, Ekada Utpatya, once upon a time, Putana, she entered Nanda Gokul. She entered Gokul, which was the abode of Nanda Maharaj, because Kamsa, he called Putana and instructed Putana, you go, you find out this child who is my death, and you kill him. So Putana, she entered Nanda Gokul. She did not enter in a original, in her form of a demoness, in form of a witch. Yoshitva Mayayatmanam. She covered herself by her mystic power into a most beautiful woman, Pravishat Kamacharini, and she started moving around according to her desire. Now, what was this form of Putana? So Shukdev Goswami, he goes into a detailed description of the form of Putana. After hearing the description of the form, somebody may think Shukdev Goswami is a renunciant. Why he is describing the beauty of a demoness? Actually, you have to understand the background. We are attached to that uh, you know process of Krishna consciousness by which we came. Somebody is attached to book distribution, somebody is attached to preaching, somebody is attached to singing, because that's how they came to Krishna consciousness. We got some book, we heard some lecture, we read some book, we heard some kirtan. Shukdev Goswami became devotee by hearing about Putana. अहो बकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिघांसयाप्यायदप्यसाधवे लेभे गतिं धात्री उचितं ततोऽन्यं कमवा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम. So it is described that when Shukdev Goswami he went away immediately after taking birth, Vyasadeva he sent his disciples just to go and you know speak this Bhagavat, because Shukdev Goswami he was a Brahmavadi. So the disciples of Vyasadeva they came and they spoke Krishna Leela. So when this Putana pastime was described to Shukdev Goswami, he became transformed, realizing who is this personality who can give such a mercy. There can be nobody else than the Supreme Lord who could do this. So therefore Shukdev Goswami is attached to this pastime. So now he starts the description of the beauty of Putana in great detail. तां केशबन्ध व्यतिसक्तमल्लिकां बृहन्नितम्बास्तनकृच्छमध्यमान् सुवाससं कल्पितकर्णभूषणात्युषोल्लसत्कुन्तलमण्डिताननम्. The hair of Putana, when she became a very beautiful woman, her hair was very beautifully decorated with mallika flowers. Mallika is a very, very fragrant type of flower. So she was having a garland of mallika flowers on her hair, and her hips were full and her breasts were large. Stanakritra madhyaman, and she had a very thin, slender waist. Suvasa samkalpita karna bhushana. She was wearing a very beautiful, attractive garment. In her ear, she was wearing a very glittering, shining earring. Very brilliant. Tushollasat kuntalamanditananam, and Tusha Ullasat. She was looking very brilliant, very attractive, and her hairs were scattered about her beautiful face. Valgo smitapang visarga vikshitai manoharantim vanita vrajaukasam amam satam bhoj karena rupinim gopya shriya drashtumivagatam patihi. Now, as Putana, she is entering. She is trying her best so that nobody doubts her. She is smiling, Valgu Smita. She is smiling very attractively, and she was casting her smiling glance on all the Brajavasis, Brajaukasam. And all the Brajvasis, they were completely enamored, attracted, seeing this beautiful lady entering Gokul. They were thinking, oh, it seems like some Apsara has come to take darshan of our Gopal. Somebody was saying it seems that Lakshmi Devi has come to take darshan of her husband, Gopya Shriyapatim. Shriya means Lakshmi Devi has come. Manoharantim. And in this way, she was attracting the minds of all the Brajvasis. And as she was moving around, she was having a lotus flower in her hand and she was twirling it. She was completely attracting the minds of everybody. And in this way, she straight went to the home of Nand Maharaj without even asking any permission. She straight entered Nand Maharaj's room and entered the place, the room where Krishna was sleeping. It is just happening few days after the birth of Krishna. And actually in those days, the children after they take birth, they would not be allowed to go anywhere. Even mothers would not be allowed to go anywhere for 3 months. So Krishna was very nicely protected by Yashoda and Rohini. They also didn't say anything because they were thinking, oh, such a great, beautiful Apsara, some demigoddess has come. So she straight entered the place, the room where Krishna was taking rest. She was looking like a fire covered by ashes. As soon as this Putana, she saw Krishna lying down, small child, she could understand just by looking at him that this child is not an ordinary child. And this child is actually meant to kill all the demons. Without wasting time, what she did? She lifted Krishna. Vibudhyatam balakamarikagraham characharatma sanmilitekshanaha anantamaropayadankam yathoragam suptama buddhirajjudhi. Now, Vibudhya, Putana understood that this child is looking very, very dangerous. So Putana, she was expert in killing children, Balaka Marika Graham, and she had come to kill him. Characharatma, now it is very interesting. What Krishna did, Krishna he saw, oh, this demoness has come because he is Characharatma. He's a super soul. He knows everyone. Krishna closed his eyes. Characharatma sanimilitekshana. Nimilitekshana means Krishna closed his eyes. Why did he close his eyes? We'll discuss. Anantamaropayadankam. Putana took upon her lap the beautiful child. Actually, she was preparing for her own destruction. It was as if Yatha Uragam, just like a foolish person, unintelligent person, places a snake on his lap, thinking that snake to be a rope. Why did Krishna close his eyes? Acharyas, they give so many 20 reasons, different reasons. We'll see few of them. Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually Krishna, he closed his eyes because he did not want to show. He wanted to show that, oh, a child is just like a small child. When he is fearful, he closes his eyes. So he did not want to show to Putana that he is very, very powerful. Therefore, he closed his eyes. And you know what Krishna was thinking? Oh my God, first lady, who has come? This witch, this demoness. She is expert in killing children. बालघातिनी, इसका तो मुंह नहीं देखूंगा. So Radha Govind Maharaj says, तुम्हारा तो मुंह ही नहीं देखूंगा. That's why he closed his eyes, because he was frustrated. So therefore, he closed his eyes. And then Krishna, why he closed? Another Acharya says, when small children, they are given some bitter medicine, So they close their eyes and nose and then drink it. Krishna is thinking, so far I am drinking the wonderful milk from the breast of Mother Yashoda, and now today I'll have to drink the milk of this papini, this witch. Oh, such a bitter taste. So better I should close my eyes and drink it. Then third reason Acharya says that कृष्ण इज थिंकिंग पहले ये लीला में सबसे पहला मेरे को स्त्री को ही मारना है, जस्ट लाइक इन लॉर्ड राम लीला, फर्स्ट demoness which Lord Ram killed was Tataka. So Krishna was thinking, अरे first person whom I am killing is a lady. Oh, this is not good. Another Acharya says that when Krishna closed his eyes, he's thinking, इसने पिछले जन्म में कुछ तो अच्छा किया है क्या अपने जीवन में, he was thinking, meditating to see if this lady, this Putana, has done some good in this life or in the previous life. So Krishna is Adosha Darshi. He never sees faults in his devotees. He is just interested in seeing the good. Therefore, Krishna is called Nimisha and Animisha. Nimisha means whenever Krishna sees his devotee doing something wrong, he closes his eyes. Animisha means when Krishna sees his devotee doing good, he does not close his eyes. He wants to see that and he elaborates, he exaggerates. Just like in the case of Sudama. Sudama came with such a small gift of some chipped rice. But what did Krishna give him? Krishna gave him an entire palace and all the wealth. Sudama says, just see the glorious position of my Lord. Kinchit karoti uruapi yat swadattam surit kritam falgu api bhurikari mayopanitam pritukaekamushtim pratyagrahita priti yuto mahatma. Just see this great personality Krishna. Kinchit karoti, if his devotee does something very little, uruapi yat swadattam. First of all, before that, he says, if he gives such a great thing, uruapi yat swadattam, he thinks, oh, I have given something small. Surit kritam phalgu api bhuri kari. And if his devotee gives something small thing, अरे कितना दिया, that is Krishna. He is always looking for the small good thing in his devotee. That's why he's Adoshadarshi. So therefore, as devotees, we should also develop this mentality of seeing only good. You know, there is a bee mentality and there is a fly mentality. Bee mentality means even if there is a whole garbage, place full of garbage, honeybee will find a small lotus flower or any flower and it will go and take that nectar. But a fly, even if you give a whole garden full of flowers, fly will go and sit on the garbage. So therefore, as devotees, we should also try to see good in others. Because Krishna himself does that, you know. And then one Acharya says that Krishna was thinking, if I open my eyes, Putana will understand that this boy is fearless and she might return back. So better I close my eyes. She will not even attempt to kill me, you know. So these are the various things, and there are so many things. One Acharya says, Krishna Chakravarti Thakur says that, Krishna wanted to avoid the shame of killing a woman. This woman is acting as my mother and I have to kill her. Oh, I should close my eyes. There are so many things. So therefore, Krishna closed his eyes. Tam tikshna chittam ativam cheshtitam vikshantara kosha parichada sivat वरस्त्रियं तत्प्रभया च दर्शिते निरीक्ष्यमाने जननी ह्यतिष्ठताम् तीक्ष्ण चित्ताम्. Her heart was very fierce and cruel. Ativam cheshtitam, but by her actions she was behaving as if she is a wonderful, loving mother, beautiful woman. It was like a sword kept in a very beautifully decorated sheath. Kosh Parichada Asi. Asi means sword. You don't even realize how sharp the sword is if it is kept in a very nice sheath. So therefore, this Putana, she was Varastriya. Varastriya means the most beautiful lady. All Brajavasis were just overwhelmed seeing her beauty and influence. Tata Prabhaya. Prabha means the influence. To such an extent, even Rohini and Yashoda did not say anything. Nirikshyamane jananihi atishtatam. Yashoda and Rohini was also not speaking anything. They were also very happy. So therefore, Prabhupada writes that we should not be captivated by the external display of beauty. The beauty of the external energy, that is called Maya. The person who is bewildered by the beauty of external body, he is Maya Mohit. Devaki, Rohini and Yashoda, they were not Maya Mohit. They were bewildered by Yogmaya, not Mahamaya. One time Srila Prabhupada was with his disciples on the seashore, and one disciple said, Prabhupada, this ocean is looking so very beautiful. Prabhupada said, yes. Maya is also like that. From far, it looks very beautiful. But if you enter it, it will suck you inside. So therefore, this Putana, she was dressed like a beautiful lady, but she had a very cruel heart. That's how we have to be as devotees. We have to be very careful of the material energy because we have to deal with the material energy on day-to-day basis. So we should never think that, okay, I can handle this. I can enter this and I'll come out. Devotees went to Prabhupada and says, Prabhupada, we are going to go do book distribution in nightclub. Please give your blessings. Prabhupada said, you have my blessings, but make sure you come back also. So that's how material nature is. Because we think, oh, I am practicing since so many years, I can handle this, nothing will happen. But even if nothing happens, something happens. You know, even if we think, oh, if I see this, nothing will happen. No, something still sticks to the mind. Nirikshyamane, if Rohini and Yashoda gets bewildered, what to speak of us? Then Putana, immediately without wasting time, she lifts Krishna and puts him to her breast. Tasmin stanam durjaravirya ulbanam ghorankamadaya shishordadavatha गाढ़ं कराभ्यां भगवान् प्रपीड्यत pranay shamam rosh samanvato pibat. Now, immediately she put Krishna to her breast, and Krishna, he knew that she is Putana, and this breast of Putana was covered with a very, very deadly poison. Tasmin stanam durjar virya ulbanam, very fiercely dangerous Putana, she had covered her breast with a deadly poison. She pushed her breast into the mouth of Krishna. And as Krishna started drinking, she was thinking, now this child is going to die. But Krishna, he was becoming angry at her because, first of all, he took the form of a devotee, took a form of mother, and she is cheating. Krishna does not like anybody who is a cheater, who is a pretender. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Mahavadanyaya, he is a Patit Pavan, not Kapat Pavan. We have to have, now Gaur Purnima is coming, so we have to have that simple, innocent heart. We should not be political, duplicitous. Simple devotion pleases Krishna. Therefore, Krishna was very, very angry. Externally, she was behaving like a mother, but internally, she was really a cruel personality. Therefore, Krishna, he took hold of the breasts of Putana squeezed it very, very hard with both of his hands. And he started sucking out the milk, and he sucked out the life air also. Started sucking out the life air. He sucked the poison, he sucked the life air also. For Putana, it was a most painful experience. She started shouting, crying loudly because she was pressed in her every vital point. Marma. And there, marma means the vital points. She was pressed. She started shouting, crying loudly, "Oh, leave me, muncha muncha alam. Please leave me, child, leave me. Suck my breast no longer." Jiva Goswami says actually, she could say only 2 times. After that, after saying 2 times, she became so very, uh, you know, you know, she lost all her strength, and she could not even speak anything. Her eyes became wide, his eyes became wide open. She cried very loudly again and again. Prabhupada writes that actually, Putana, she was punished very severely by Krishna. It is not that we just tell the story of Putana got the position of mother, but what all she suffered, Putana gave all the reaction in a very short span. It was a very excruciating experience for Putana. Excruciating pain she was undergoing. And Krishna was not only sucking the breast, he was kicking her also with her legs to punish her properly. So therefore, for Putana, the legs of Krishna, they were not like lotus petals. It was like thunderbolt. And Putana, she screamed loudly and forcefully. Because of the shouts and screams of Putana, all the mountains started trembling. Earth started trembling. Even the planets started trembling in the outer sky. People, when they heard such loud sound, they fell down as if they were struck by thunderbolt. They fell down. And when Putana, she was completely, you know, in excruciating pain, Krishna, he sucked all her life air. She fell down. Just like Vritrasur fell when being struck by the thunderbolt of Indra, Putana fell. Jiva Goswami says that actually, Putana, original form of Putana was that of a owl. You know, first canto describes, second chapter. Uluki Kayaha. Uluki Kaya means she was actually having original form of owl. That's how she was able to fly everywhere. So when Putana, she fell, and she assumed the original form when she fell because she could not maintain her form of a beautiful woman. The form of Putana extended 12 miles. Putana inspired, Krishna inspired Putana to just go very far from Gokul and fall on the garden of Kamsa. And this garden was full of the fruits and the flowers, and it was a very favorite garden of Kamsa. So Putana fell on that garden and destroyed the entire garden of Kamsa. Shukdev Goswami describes when Putana fell, what was the ghastly form of Putana? Her mouth was full of very sharp teeth like plow, resembling the front of the plow, very sharp. Nostrils of Putana, they were like the mountain caves. The breasts, they were looking like a stones of slab, stone slab. They were looking like small hills also. Her hairs were scattered all over. They were like a color of copper. And the sockets of the eyes of Putna, they were looking like a deep blind wells. The thighs, hands, feet, legs, they were looking like bridges. And The abdomen, it was sunken. It was looking like a dried lake. When the Brajvasis, they heard such sound of falling of Putana, they were already shocked by the form of Putana which she assumed. And when Putana was screaming, and when they saw such huge body, they became completely fearful. They were even more frightened. And then after this, all the gopis, already the gopis were crying. Mother Yashoda was fainting. When they saw that Putana has fallen, immediately gopis, they came running without fear. The child was playing, Krishna was playing very happily without any fear. Because he was thinking, oh, the breasts of Putana, they were like a small flat plateau, and it was giving up space for the child to play. So Krishna was playing happily. So when gopis, they saw that Krishna is happy, immediately they picked up with great jubilation and gave Krishna to Mother Yashoda. Yashoda and Rohini, they were so very shocked by all this. At the first moment, they could not do anything. Jiva Goswami says this. Actually, Mother Yashoda and Rohini, they were so very shocked. They could not do anything. They were stunned completely. Other ladies, they came and they helped Mother Yashoda to do all those purificatory ceremonies. Then Mother Yashoda and Rohini, they did so many things to give full protection to Krishna. They waved the tail of a cow over the body of Krishna. And then the child was washed with cow urine and cow dung. Tilak was put in all the 12 places, just like we put tilak. So all the tilak was put in 12 places. And then, Jiva Goswami says a wonderful thing. Chakravarti Thakur says, in the beginning, the ladies, they were so very confused by the whole thing. Before beginning any ritual, you have to do achman. But the gopis, they forgot to do achman. They started doing the ritual, but then they realized, then they did the achman, they did anganyas, karanyas, and then they started doing the rituals again properly. So the gopis and Mother Yashoda, they followed a very proper system to give complete protection to the child. They started chanting mantras, invoking the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Various avatars of Supreme Lord were uh, invoked by chanting of various mantras. They said, may Aja protect the legs, Mahiman protect the knees, Yagya protect the thighs, Lord Achyuta protect the upper part of the waist, Hayagriva protect the abdomen, Keshava protect the chest, Isha, Lord Isha protect the neck, may Gadadhar protect the child from back, Chakri protect the child from front. In this way, so many, all the various incarnations of the Lord, they were invoked by chanting various mantras. And then they say, one can vanquish all the evil effects of the witches and the spirits and the ghosts, which are responsible for bringing ill fortune for the child. All these effects can be destroyed just by chanting the names of Lord Vishnu. So they kept on chanting the names of Lord Vishnu. And in this way, Shukdev Goswami continues that all the gopis, they were so very bound with maternal affection for Krishna. They did all these things with such affection. They chanted all the mantras, and then ultimately, Mother Yashoda, she started feeding breast milk to Krishna. And she was very pacified when she saw that Krishna is drinking the milk very nicely. Because it is said that, and the mothers may know that when child drinks the breast milk, that means he is in good health. Nanda Maharaj and all the other Gopas, when they returned from Mathura, they saw this huge body of Putana. They were shocked. First of all, they could not understand what is this. They thought maybe a mountain has fell down. Mountain, earlier mountain had, mountain would have wings. So they thought some mountain with unclipped wings fell. Somebody was thinking maybe this is the spell of some witch and we have come to a wrong place. You know, somebody was thinking this is a magical illusion. They were completely shocked. And then when they realized what is this? This is a demoness witch. Nand Maharaj and all the Gopas, they exclaimed, "Oh, it seems that Anakadundubi Vasudev has become a great saint. He has developed mystic powers. Otherwise, how could he foresee this calamity?" Because Vasudev told Nanda Maharaj that you go back immediately because there is some calamity which may come on Gokul. Nanda Maharaj was shocked. All the Brajvasis now they had to dispose of this body, huge body, 12 miles body. So they cut the body into small parts and burned it with the wood. Prabhupada writes that actually it is said that when a serpent, a snake is killed, it should not be left because it is said that it may come to life again by interacting with the air. So therefore a snake should be burnt, cut to pieces and burnt. Putana, she was also like a snake. So therefore they did not want to take any risk. So they cut, cut the body of Putana and they burnt it with the wood. Now, Shukdev Goswami describes the great fortune and Krishna's mercy, the causeless mercy of Krishna on Putana. Dahyamanasya dehasya dhumasha guru saurabha uttita Krishna nirbhukta sapadyahat papmanah. He says, Dahyamanasya dehasya, when the gigantic body of Putana was burned, generally when the body is burned, it emits a very foul smell. What to speak of body of Putana? She was a embodiment of all the nefarious activities. But all the Brajvasis, they were so very shocked. When body of Putana was burned, it started emitting a wonderful fragrance of aguru. Aguru is a mixture of various nice substances. Why it happened? Utthitah Krishna Nirbhuktaha. Because Krishna touched the body of Putana. Krishna is Shuddham and Apapa Vidham. He is completely pure and he can purify anything. Just by the touch of Krishna, the Putana's whole body was completely purified. She was the greatest of the demoness, but still she became completely pure, completely free of all the sinful reactions, all the material contaminations. And then wonderful series of verses come glorifying the wonderful nature of Krishna's mercy. Putana lokabalagne rakshasi rudirasana jigham sayapi harye stanam dattva pasadgatim kim puna shraddaya bhaktya krishnaya paramatmane yachan priyatamam kim no raktastanmataro yatha. Putana, who was she? She was Lokabalagni. She was the killer of innocent children. Rakshasi, demoness, Rudhirasana. Her favorite drink was blood. Rudhirasana. She came to kill Krishna. Jigham sayapi haraye. But stanam dattva pasadgatim. She got the best of the destinations. If ordinary sinful Putana got this destination, Kim puna shraddaya bhaktya. What is to be said of those who have natural, spontaneous devotion and affection for Krishna? Krishnaya Paramatmane Yachan Priyatamam Kim no Bhakta Rakta Stanmataro Yata. Just what to speak of these gopis? Are these gopis? They have offered breasts with love and affection. They were offering milk to Krishna. Prabhupada writes, Putana had no affection for Krishna. She came to kill him, but still Krishna, just because she offered her breast in the guise of a mother, he gave the highest destination to Putana. Chakravarti Thakur describes that he makes four types of different analysis of this. What is happening in this Putana pastime? He says, if a person offers service to Krishna with the attempt to kill Krishna, and he attains the highest goal of life, are what to speak of a person what he will attain if he offers with a neutral attitude? What will he attain if he offers with faith? Are what he will attain if he offers with pure bhakti? Kim no kimuta? भक्ति शुद्ध भक्ति से ऑफर करेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा? Then he says, if a person offers to an avatar of the Lord, other avatars, he attains the supreme destination. What he will attain if he offers directly to Krishna? Thirdly, he says, if somebody just offers poisoned breast to Krishna and he attains the supreme destination, what will he obtain if he offers something more than a poisonous or nice thing? What will he attain if he offers a dear object? What will he attain if he offers a dearer object? And what will he attain if he offers his dearmost object? Kimuta, क्या कहना उसके बारे में? Then he says the fourth thing. अरे पूतना, who was she? She was a Rakshasi. She attained the highest destination. What to speak of if a human being offers? What he will attain? चलो ह्यूमन बीइंग छोड़ दो. What if somebody is a devotee? उसको क्या मिलेगा? What to speak of if he's a lover of the Lord? Rakta means lover. What he will attain? And what to speak of these gopis, elderly gopis? They have given their everything for Krishna. What they will attain? Ultimately, after writing all this, Chakravarti Thakur writes that paying respects to Mother Yashoda from a distance, I put him on the highest position, and I will write no more, because it is beyond the words. And then he stops this purport. Then Shukdev Goswami continues. He describes the greatness of Putana's attainment. Padbhyam bhaktaridistabhyam bandabhyam loka banditai angam yasya samakramya bhagavan api tatsanam. Padbhyam bhaktaridistabhyam. The lotus feet of Lord, they are situated in the heart of the devotees. Vandabhyam lokvanditai, they are worshipped by lokvanditai, those entities who are worthy of worship. Brahma, Shiva, they are also worshipping those lotus feet. And those lotus feet, what they are doing? Angam yasya samakramya. Krishna is stepping on the body of Putana with his feet. Not just putting, he's forcing, he's kicking also Putana. Samakramya means samyak kramya. Completely he is putting his feet on Putana. Bhagavan api tatstanam, and he is drinking the breast milk. Who was Putana? Yatu dhanyaphi sa swargam avapajanani gatim Krishna bhuktastanakshira kimugavo namatara. Putana, she was a Yatu dhani, she was a witch. She attained Swarga. So this Swarga, Chakravarti Thakur writes, it is not the Swarga of this world, because Avapa Janani Gatim, she attained the position of Janani, Mother Yashoda. That is not the material Swarga, that is the spiritual world. If Yatudhani got the position of nurse in the spiritual world, Krishna Bhukta Stanakshira Kimogavo Namatara, what to speak of these gopis, what they will get? Unimaginable. Brahmaji also tells in the 14th chapter, we'll see, when he is praying to Lord, he is also glorifying the gopis. Arey, what these gopis will get, Baba? You gave the position of Putana, you gave the position of mother to Putana. बचा क्या आपके पास देने के लिए? What is remaining? You gave position of mother. उसके ऊपर क्या है? What will you give to these gopis? You know. So therefore, Prabhupada writes there, these verses explain the wonderful nature of devotional service. Even if you render devotional service directly or indirectly, you will get benefit. Knowingly or unknowingly, you will get benefit. You know, even if you chant knowingly or unknowingly, you will get benefit. Sanketyam parihasyam va stobham helanam eva va vaikunthanam grahanan ashesha aghaharam vidu. In Ajamil pastime, it is described. Even if somebody just tells Sanket, he just points out, oh, these Hare Krishna wale ja rahe hain. Somebody jokes. Somebody just sings Hare Krishna mantra for musical entertainment. मजा आता है, चलो कीर्तन में डांस करके आएंगे उधर, अच्छा लगता है. Even if somebody comes in touch with Krishna consciousness, indirectly he gets benefited. Ashesh agha haram vidu, he gets purified. And then what to speak of if somebody takes the name of the Lord with faith? So Prabhupada is writing that. Even if indirectly somebody comes, he gets benefited. So Putana, Chakravarti Thakur writes that Putana, her whole body was treaded upon by feet of Krishna. Those feet which are worshipable. The yogis are endeavoring to see the tip of the toe of the feet of Krishna. They are not able to do it since millions of years. Those feet were trampling completely, smearing the dust of the feet on the body of Putana. How fortunate she was. Kimugavo namatra. Then what to speak of the mothers? Kya milega unko? And then Shukdev Goswami continues. Payamsi yasam apibat putra sneha snutalyalam Bhagavan Devaki putra kaivalyadi akhil prada. Now he's glorifying the gopis. Gopis, Mother Yashoda, they are so very fortunate. Krishna would drink from their breasts and they would love Krishna in a maternal affection. Always they were overwhelmed just by looking at the beauty of Krishna. Kaivalyadi Akhilaprada, Hare Krishna can give liberation to everybody. And that Krishna is becoming the son of Mother Yashoda. तासामाविरतं कृष्णे कुर्वतीनां सुतेक्षणं न पुनः कल्पते राजन् संसारो ज्ञानसम्भवः. These gopis, what they were doing with their whole heart, with their consciousness, because they were completely attached to Krishna, they were doing everything just to please Krishna. Why they will take birth again in this material world? Na punah kalpate rajan samsaro agyan sambhava. So Prabhupada writes a very beautiful purport here. The advantage, he writes, the advantage of Krishna consciousness is described here in this verse. If somebody takes to the process of Krishna consciousness, follows it with the heart, with all the endeavor, na punah kalpate, there is no doubt that he will come back in this world again. Samsaro Ajnana Sambhavaha. If we develop our attraction for Krishna by chanting, by hearing the pastimes, for sure we will cross this ocean of material existence. Krishna has given again and again assurances. Name Bhakta Pranashyati, I provide what my devotee lacks. And in 10th canto we'll see Krishna gives assurance again and again. Samsaro na punah kalpate rajan samsaro ajnana sambhava. Devotee never returns back to this material world. Who can give such assurance? So Krishna is giving the assurance again and again. So the mercy is flowing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. He has broke open this whole flood. The bridge is the this dam is broken. The mercy of Krishna consciousness is flooding. Krishna prem. So now it is up to us to take this process seriously, endeavor to the full of the best of the capacity, and get benefited. Otherwise, if we can't take advantage of this wonderful opportunity, then it is a very unfortunate position. That's why Chakravarti Thakur writes that gopis, they attained such wonderful position. If Putana attained that, then what to speak of gopis? What they will attain? You know. And then Nanda Maharaj, after he and all the gopas, they smelled this beautiful fragrance coming from the body of Putana. Everybody was completely astonished. They were wondering, first of all, where is this fragrance coming from? कहाँ से आ रहा है? Because nobody could understand that it is coming from the burning body of Putana. Then they went to the spot there where the body of Putana was being burned. And when they saw this extraordinary thing, they were completely amazed, completely surprised. And when they saw Krishna is all well, they offered their blessings to the child. And then Nanda Maharaj took Krishna on his lap and started, smelling the head of Krishna and giving him all the blessings. Became so very happy and ecstatic. Then Shukdev Goswami, in the end of this chapter, he describes the Falastuti. What one will attain by hearing this whole Putana pastime. Ya etat Putana moksham Krishnasya arbhagamadbhutam Shrunya Shraddhaya Martyo Govinde Labhate Ratim. So very wonderful Falastuti Shukdev Goswami says. Ya etat Putana moksham Krishnasya arbhakam. Whoever will hear this wonderful pastime of deliverance of Putana by a small child, Krishna as a in the form of a small child, what will he get? Na punah kalpate rajan shrinuya shraddhaya martyo govinda labhate ratim. Somebody, if hears with faith, Govinda labhate ratim, he will attain attraction for Govinda. That is a wonderful nature of Krishna Katha. If we hear with faith, if we hear with all the attention, intensity, Govinda labhate ratim. So this is the end of the sixth chapter. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So anybody has any questions, you can ask. Okay, so we'll stop here. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.